This video is sponsored by Squarespace. So honestly, something I haven't had the chance to do in a long time is take pictures for myself and just enjoy taking photos. Recently, I got to do that when I went on a trip to Japan, and I used my current favorite camera, the X-S20. Now, I know I've been ranting and raving about this camera for a while, but when I upgraded to the X-S20 and popped on the 27mm pancake, it was a dream camera for me. And I'll leave a link up above about my choices on getting the X-S20. But I noticed as a working wedding photographer, I don't shoot for myself much anymore, aside from when I shoot film, which is rare, or when I travel, which is also rare because most of the time I'm traveling for work. This trip to Japan was kind of half and half. My brother actually lives in Nagoya teaching English, so it was nice to go visit him, which I haven't seen him in a couple of years now. And again, so that I could travel light and not have too much gear on me, I brought the X-S20, which is hands down one of the most perfect cameras. Not only is the image quality amazing, you get all of Fujifilm's awesome film simulations, but the video features are really amazing as well. This gives me the ability to make content on the go. Honestly, just shy of all the features of the X-H2S, the X-S20 is a great find for anyone. Now, everybody loves a good Fujifilm film recipe, and this is what I generally use when I'm hanging out with family or traveling and taking snaps for myself. I don't necessarily consider this a film recipe, but if you're curious of the settings, this is what I'm working with, and you'll see them in all the photos coming up. Getting out and shooting for yourself is something I highly recommend for all photographers, especially if you're a working photographer like myself. This was the first time since I moved to New York where I had a chance to just take photos because what I was seeing in front of me was new and fresh and exciting. And honestly, it's such a great feeling. Now, the X-S20, in my opinion, is one of the most perfect cameras to get you in that mode of just taking photos of what you see in front of you. With the 27mm pancake, and the easy Fujifilm settings and using a film simulation, it's easier for me to just pick the camera up and know that I'm taking great photos. When you're shooting in JPEG like this, you might want to overexpose a little bit, kind of like you would with film, to make sure you're getting a great look out of your photos and let the camera do the rest. Also, since the X-S20 has IBIS, I was able to pull off this long exposure on this waterfall all handheld, so I must have the steadiest hands in the land, or Fujifilm's IBIS is really that great. If you have any questions about how to take long exposures like this, let me know in the comments below. Now, the best way to share any of your images with the world is going to be with this video sponsor, Squarespace. There's many places that you can share your images online, but having your own website, your own space on the internet is probably going to be the best way to do it. With Squarespace, you're able to build a website quickly and easily without having to have any prior design knowledge. They have beautiful templates that you can choose to use for your website, and also you can customize those templates to make your website look unique. If you take a look at my website, it's kind of hard to see what template I used because I've done so much customization to it. Fill the website with your beautiful photos and you have a great website in no time. And honestly, I'm going to share some of my photos from Japan in a blog post, which you can find on my website, and I'll leave a link down below in the description. So for all y'all who actually watch the sponsor spot, go check out those photos and leave a comment on the actual blog. Aside from having a blog post, you can also do commerce and sell products, physical and digital. You have amazing analytics to see who's buying products on your site and visiting your site and where from. And you even have member pages and courses. There's so much you can do on Squarespace. It is really worth it. So definitely make sure to check out the link in the description below for 10% off of your first website or domain. Something that's not talked about too often either is Fujifilm's built-in advanced filters. They're actually really fun to use, and I used the toy camera one a couple times to get one of those miniature tilt shift looks on some of my photos. If you haven't played around with any of the advanced filters, I highly recommend it because you can get some really cool looks out of photos, and even if you're shooting in RAW, you'll have a RAW backup that you can edit so you're not just stuck with the JPEG. Another reason I think it's important to get out and shoot for yourself is getting away of the importance of your photos. that pressure that you have as a wedding photographer to create these amazing photos all the time, it's kind of a lot, and I feel like it takes away from the art. So being able to just aim your camera at something that you like and take a shot goes a long way. So when I started taking photos at all, my first camera was the Polaroid 600, and I can remember just taking random snaps of just things around the house or my friends or anything like that. And just that feeling of seeing it and wanting to capture it because you're there, it goes a long way. I feel like it really refreshes you as a photographer, and it also gives you that range to try new things that you maybe might not have tried before. Basically, as my trip went on, I started doing a lot more long exposures and getting some blurry sections in my photos, which I thought was really cool, and I actually might start doing it more often at weddings now that I have a chance to try it out. So really, don't underestimate how refreshing it can be to just take photos again, especially if you're a working photographer. Not creating art for money, but just creating art for the sake of arts and the fact that you enjoy it. Shooting for yourself is something that every photographer should do, and honestly, I'm very guilty of never doing it myself. As a wedding photographer, I'm always capturing memories for everybody else, but not for myself. Make sure to take the time to do something for yourself, and the XS20 is a great way to just get back into the flow of photography. Again, closing up that back screen and just using it almost like a film camera, it's a great process. Leave some comments below about what you do to get away from the mundane work side of photography and get back to that innocent love of photography you had when you first picked up a camera. Also, if you want to hear more about travel cameras or what I've been doing recently, here's some other videos for you to check out.